Some people don't feel sad. They don't feel broken. They don't even feel unhappy in a clear way. They just feel empty, not peaceful, not calm, just hollow, like something important is missing. But there's no name for it, no obvious reason, no clear moment when it began. It's a quiet feeling. That's what makes it so confusing. You go through your day, you do what needs to be done, you respond, you function. But inside, there's distance, not pain exactly, more like absence. It feels as if your emotions are happening far away. You know what you're supposed to feel. You remember what it used to feel like, but the feeling itself doesn't arrive. You can still laugh, still talk, still smile at the right moments, yet none of it fully reaches you. There's a strange awareness that life is moving, and you're watching it instead of living it. This emptiness isn't dramatic. It doesn't crash into you. It settles. It becomes the background of everything. Thoughts continue, but without weight. Decisions feel meaningless. Desires feel weak or distant. You might ask yourself what you want, and nothing answers. Not because you don't care, but because caring feels out of reach. It's like trying to grab something with numb hands. You know it's there. You just can't feel it. What makes this even harder is that nothing looks wrong. Your life might be stable, maybe even successful by outside standards. People might describe you as fine, and that word follows you everywhere. Fine. Not bad enough to explain, not good enough to feel alive. So you start questioning yourself, why don't I feel more? Why doesn't this matter to me? Why does everything feel muted? You might blame yourself for being ungrateful, for being disconnected. But emptiness doesn't come from weakness. It comes from adaptation. At some point, feeling deeply stopped being safe or useful or welcome. Maybe emotions were ignored. Maybe they were minimized. Maybe you learned early that expressing needs didn't change anything. So your inner world adjusted, quietly, intelligently. It learned how to survive by pulling back, not shutting down completely, just enough to stay functional. Over time, this became normal. You don't remember choosing it. You just remember that this is how things are. The mind lowers the volume, not just on pain, on everything. Joy fades, sadness dulls, excitement passes quietly. This is why emptiness feels strange. It's not chaos, it's silence. In daily life, it appears in small moments. You achieve something you worked toward. There's relief, then nothing. You're surrounded by people, but still feel alone. Not because they're distant, but because you are. You scroll, you watch, you distract yourself, waiting for something to spark a reaction. Rest doesn't restore you. Sleep doesn't reset you. And when you're alone with your thoughts, the emptiness becomes clearer. Silence feels heavy. Stillness feels uncomfortable. So you stay busy. Not because you fear doing nothing, but because doing nothing reminds you of what's missing. The psychology behind emptiness is simple. When emotions don't lead to understanding, the mind stops offering them. When effort doesn't lead to connection, motivation fades. When being yourself feels risky, the self grows quiet. This isn't something you think your way into. It's something you adapt into. The emptiness isn't a flaw. It's a message, a quiet one. It's your inner world saying something important was set aside, not because it didn't matter, but because it felt safer to disconnect. Many people try to fix emptiness by adding more noise, more goals, more distraction. But emptiness isn't a lack of activity. It's a lack of alignment. It's what happens when you live on the surface for too long, doing what works, not what resonates. And the harder you push yourself to feel something, the further it slips away. Because emotions don't respond to pressure, they respond to safety. Understanding emptiness doesn't mean pretending it's positive. It means seeing it clearly. A pause, a signal that your inner world needs attention, not correction. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to listen differently. Instead of asking how to stop feeling empty, notice what you've stopped feeling. Small awareness creates space. Space allows feeling to return slowly. Not all at once, not dramatically. In moments, a quiet interest, a subtle sense of presence. Emptiness doesn't disappear overnight. It softens when it's acknowledged, when you stop fighting it, when you stop judging yourself for it. If you feel empty inside, it doesn't mean there's nothing there. It means something important has been waiting in silence. And that silence isn't asking for pressure, just presence. Sometimes feeling whole again doesn't begin with feeling more. It begins with allowing yourself to notice what's been missing, quietly, gently, one honest moment at a time.